Shohei Ohtani, Major League Baseball's highest paid player, breaking his silence yesterday about the gambling scandal that prompted the Dodgers to fire that interpreter last week because it was thought that the interpreter was involved in gambling. And that, worse than that, the interpreter was accused of stealing $4.5 million from Ohtani to pay those gambling debts. He said yesterday, I never bet on baseball or any other sports. I never asked somebody to do that on my behalf. And I've never gone through a bookmaker to bet on sports. He signed a $700 million deal in the offseason to join the Dodgers. Says he did not know about the translators gambling until after a Dodgers game in Korea last week. Up until a couple of days ago, he said, I didn't even know that this was happening. He says that the translator has been stealing money from my account and has told lies.
I mean, I guess when you're that rich, you don't notice $4.5 million missing from your bank account. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't believe that you don't. If you don't notice it, it's possible somebody else notices it. Mm-hmm. When you're that rich, you have layers. I'd suggest that there are even more layers. There's just sort of the sense that oh, he's got so much money, he's not keeping track of the yeah, but he's got 5 people minimum keeping track of that stuff.
Right. Accountants, investors who might notice something awry, right?
There's no way that $4.5 million is pulled out of an account without the bank contacting someone. Now, I've heard, well, he could have access to accounts because they were really like best friends. They were, like brothers. Maybe, again, I'd suggest that big chunks of money don't flow out of accounts without going through somebody else, a business manager or whomever. So, again, this is interesting. Wes is saying, I bet the interpreter... Please don't use I bet in the context of the story. How much did you bet on this? I bet this interpreter probably kept him isolated from Japanese-speaking people and probably manipulated translations. I mean, that may be, but again, I just don't think you missed $4.5 million. I mean, going away. Maybe MC Hammer was his business manager, says Chris. I don't think you... Even if he didn't take it all at one time, as Edward says, I think you'd see these large transactions. You'd see a constellation of transactions. And
you don't take out the $4.5 million all at once.
Right. I mean,
right.
I'm just saying, even if you don't, and this is, by the way, all going to come out of the investigation because 2 things have to happen. One is there's an investigation as to exactly how this money was pulled out. Was it 20,000 amounts, 50,000 amounts? You still have to do a lot of it to get to 4.5 million, right? Even at 50,000 a crack. But the other thing I would say is if there's really, and this is what's being alleged here, a theft of $4.5 million, there will be charges. And if there are no charges, then you know what? You know that it's just a story. Because why wouldn't there be charges on someone who stole $4.5 million? So this is huge. As you know, there's no gambling on baseball. Baseball doesn't mind you gambling, but they don't want you gambling on baseball. So that's the latest on Ohtani. He did face the media, and he said all the right things. But the question is really what will happen going forward. There's a cloud right now, certainly, around this. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.